Hey, Deb, we have some voicemails. Do you want to listen to them?
Yeah.
On April 26th, 2019, we here at My Darlings Distractions put out a call for you, the listener, to leave us voicemails and emails. And you, well, you've stepped up to the challenge. Thank you. We have received tens of comments, questions, and corrections. Again, thank you. And please, keep them coming. But today's episode is unique. You see, sometimes in life, things go just the way you would expect. The cogs and pistons of your existence rhythmically move in perfect synchronicity, and you find yourself humming down the road of life without a care in the world. And then, there are the times where something or someone breaks that rhythm, and you find yourself careening off the road into a ditch of uncertainty. When your expectations are shattered and the rules are changed, it is as if you are walking to your refrigerator to get a glass of milk to have with your popcorn, and when you open the refrigerator door, instead of seeing a jug of cold, salt-neutralizing milk, you see instead a rabid fox with its hot, angry eyes staring back at you from your refrigerator shelf. Today, we are going to look at just such an occurrence. My name is Luke, and I am joined, as always, by my lovely wife, Deb. And this is My Darlings Distractions.
When Luke and I first decided to set up a phone number for listener voicemails, we knew that we would be opening ourselves up to anything that the volatile internet would throw our way. There were safeguards put in place, and Luke felt like he had done his best to protect us from what may come our way.
So here's what my thought was, is I know we wanted to do a way for people to call in, and I thought it'd be fun to hear people's voices. And so the idea was to use Google Voice, so that what we could do is we could set up an anonymous account under an anonymous Gmail account, and then Google Voice lets you actually create an actual phone number with an actual voicemail mailbox. And then what you do is, with that anonymous account, then you just give out that number. And then what I do is I set that account to be set to Do Not Disturb. And so if it's set to Do Not Disturb, then basically, I just get an email to this anonymous account saying that somebody left a voicemail to whatever the number is.
Okay. Yeah, that would work. And then people would, let us know if we messed something up, or if they had an idea for something that we could,
Yeah, and the idea is, that's where you put your, whatever you want to call it, the corrections or any sort of questions. And because it's audio, it gives you a way to include people's voices and stuff.
With the electrified fence of our anonymous Google Voice account to hold the T-Rexes and raptors of the internet at bay, we felt safe to give the number out. So the number is 612-470-8658.
Or 61 air 0 volt. That's 61 AIR.
But we were so preoccupied with whether we could, we didn't stop to think if we should. And as you can guess, life, finds a way. How's that sound?
I think it sounds good. Should we listen?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. This is us, Deb and I, getting ready to listen to the voicemails that have come in. So, Deb, we have some voicemails.
Cool.
Ready to listen to them?
Yeah.
You can hear in our voices, we're excited and a little nervous. Much like a tights-wearing Comic-Con attender getting ready to walk into their first convention, dressed head to toe in their homemade Captain America costume, patriotic shield in hand. And this is the point where it all gets so very strange.
Hey, Dave, Graham, and possible guest. This is Miles from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, calling in.
The voice is a familiar one. Its tone's as familiar as your favorite oldies tune. It's Miles. We've known him for 5 years. But it is clear this voicemail is not meant for us. It's for someone else. Dave, Graham, and possible guest. The questions begin to swirl in our heads. Why are we getting this voicemail?
It probably makes the most sense if you hear the whole voicemail. Just as Mufasa needed to take Simba to the top of Pride Rock to show him everything that the light touches, here now is the first voicemail in its entirety.
Hey, Dave, Graham, and possible guest. This is Miles from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, calling in with an overheard. I was at my local gym the other day and overheard a conversation of two people working behind the front desk. That was a man and a woman. And the woman goes, "Were you at that intervention for Mark?" And the man says, "I've been to several interventions for Mark." Thanks. Love the show. Bye.
So there we were, our minds stammering like a drunk Jeff Goldblum.
Okay. So, I don't know if I understand very much of what's going on in that voicemail.
You know what I got out of that?
What did you get out
Miles goes to a gym.
Oh, okay.
And something's wrong with Mark.
Okay, well, that's voicemail number 1.
Okay.
All right. Deb, this is voicemail number 2. It would have been bizarre enough to receive just one voicemail like this, but we didn't get just one.
Hey, this is Miles from Sioux Falls. This is Miles giving a call in. I was wondering, hey brothers, I was at my local gym the other day. I'm wondering if I coming back with two people working behind when you're mistaken, the woman goes.
We got 3 voicemails like this.
We felt like we were walking through New York City's Times Square with a larger-than-life Broadway poster surrounding you at every turn, boasting enough light bulbs to illuminate the entirety of a small town in Siouxland. It was all so overwhelming. Okay.
All right, so Deb, this is voicemail number 2.
Okay.
Hey brothers, I'm calling with a problem. So I have a coworker. She and I talk about exercise and fitness and things like that, and she told me about these great energy bars she gets from Costco. And she said, if you ever want me to buy some for you, just let me know. I go to Costco all the time. And she let me try some, and I love them, and they have great nutritional value, and they're a good post-workout snack. So I told her, yeah, go ahead and get me some of those protein bars and just let me know what I owe you, and I'll pay you back. And that's been about a month ago now, and I haven't heard back from her about the protein bars. Problem is, I don't know whether to go up and talk to her about them at all or not, because it's been so much time now, and I don't know if she's forgotten or she just hasn't had time, or if she wasn't really offering and was kind of half offering. So I'm looking for advice. I don't know. Do I buy my own protein bars? Because I'm about to run out of the bars I have, and I still need to work out. So do I buy my own and risk offending her? Do I talk to her about it and make it seem like I'm being pushy or ungrateful for her offer and want it to happen at my own time? Or do I just give up and never go to the gym again? That's from seriously considering stopping working out in South Dakota. Thanks.
Was this a cry for help from Miles? We knew he wasn't really asking us for the advice he needed, but we decided to Dwight Schrute this situation, take matters into our own hands, and give a little unsolicited advice.
But really, what would you do?
What would I do?
What would you do? Would you say, Deborah, where's my power bars?
I would probably, there's probably a passive-aggressive way for me to do this, where you're like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where you would be like, man, have you been enjoying those power bars that we talked about a long time ago? Uh-huh. I don't know, that's really bad.
You know what I would do?
What?
I would say, I really liked those power bars. I was thinking of going and getting some. Did you say they were at Costco? No, that wouldn't.
Do you think that would
just go and get some?
Trip her memory?
Miles, just go and get some. You know where they are.
Deb, are you ready for voicemail number 3?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like, do you guys remember the movie The Lake House, when Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock finally get to meet face to face after being separated the whole movie by a period of 2 years and having a magical mailbox as their only means of communication? It leads me to believe that maybe there can be happy endings, even when things are confusing. We thought maybe Miles's third message to us would be like our own mysterious, magic, time-traveling mailbox.
Hey, man, I love this show. This is Miles giving a call in. I was wondering, you guys have been on hiatus for a while, but I'm wondering when the show's coming back, when you're going to dig into Season 4 of Arrested Development, when you're going to dig into Season 5 of Arrested Development, when we can get that great feedback from you guys, from Miles, from Mike, from Vernon Chaps Price. We're hungry for it. The whole audience, the internet, is waiting for it. We're just waiting for you guys to give it to us. Hit us up. Let us know.
This message might have been the strangest of them all. Miles is asking us about the status of a podcast he co-created. Getting this voicemail, it was like in Tetris. Getting the T-shaped Tetramino when what you desperately need is that sweet, sweet L-shaped one. The uppercase L, not the lowercase one. And that one's actually called the eyepiece. You know the one I'm talking about. Anyway, this just didn't fit. And Deb was having none of it. She had the same questions. Where had Man I Love This Show gone?
Yeah. I'm picking up what Miles is putting down.
Okay. So you understand what's happening in that one?
Yeah. Do you know when I listened to Man I Love This Show?
When? Bed rest.
Nope.
Oh.
When we were building our house.
Oh, okay.
And I came over and I painted walls for hours during the evening. I listened to it. Yeah, come on. Where are you, Man I Love This Show? When we come back from the break, Luke and I make some Survivor-style big moves to find out what is the purpose behind these voicemails.
I want to take a minute to thank Chad Lawson for the unapproved use of his music in this episode. If you are into calming classical piano, seriously, check out Chad Lawson on Apple Music, Spotify, Bandcamp, or wherever you find great music being played. You probably can't find his CDs at Walmart, because I'm pretty sure he did a very limited run of those CDs. And chances are, Walmart didn't purchase them. Support for this episode comes from our children. We would like to thank our children for playing nicely with one another for hours on a Saturday, so Mommy and Daddy can, one at a time, sit in the office with a heavy blanket pulled over their head to create the illusion of recording voiceover in a studio. Thanks, kids. You can support our kids by giving them high fives when you see them. And now, back to the episode. The truth was that we needed to know more about these voicemails' intended recipients. We needed to travel to our own proverbial Dagobah and search out the Jedi Master who lived there to complete our training. But specifically in our case, we needed to do a Google search for Dave, Graham, and possible guest, because I had no idea who they were.
So Miles from South Dakota, from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, has called us 3 times.
Yes. Well, not us.
He's never once said Luke and Deb.
Right.
Who are Dave and Graham?
Okay, so, all right. Dave and Graham. Graham. And possible guest. Huh. We are Graham Clark and Dave. Oh,
Shumka.
Dave Shumka of Stop Podcasting Yourself. Have you ever listened to the podcast Stop Podcasting? Nope.
I have listened to the podcast.
Stop Podcasting Yourself?
I have. It was recommended to me by one Miles from Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Okay, let's look that up then. Stop Podcasting Yourself. Okay, it just says here, Vancouver's top comedy podcast, ? Hosted by Graham Clark and Dave Shumka with weekly guests. Hilarious weekly guests. Yep.
So with a deeper understanding of who the voicemail was actually for, we could continue our trek to understanding what Miles was doing. But just like a preteen scaling the aggro crag only to have a foam cube dropped on us from above, we realized the podcasts he was referencing were much more popular than ours. 586
I know.
episodes.
Does that intimidate you? They're on 586. Do you know what we're on, Deb?
Maybe 14.
You would know. I never get it right.
I think 14.
14 or 15.
These guys have been on it. They're experts. They're pros. Well, we're no Dave and Graham.
No. Okay, but Deb, you get the second voicemail, though.
Oh, yeah. Mabim Bam.
Mabim Bam. So this is one I think I also know.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I'm positive I know. Because this was like maybe the first one like that I ever had Miles recommend to me. So, yes, I have definitely, so they're only on 463.
Okay, so they're not quite as far as Stop Podcasting Yourself.
That's nothing.
That's nothing.
Although I will say I think they've been doing it since forever. Okay. So compared to these podcasts Miles was listening to, we were no cheers. Everybody definitely did not know our name. With a healthy perspective on our ranking, we addressed the last podcast mentioned, the one of Miles's own making. I want to see the online presence. What was the name? It was called
Man I Love This Show.
Okay.
I mean, I know this show.
Podcast.
And I was a fan. And
I love you, man.
No.
I love
this
you.
show.
Man, I love this show. I'm going to put that in quotes.
MILTS. Right? Milts?
I mean, don't you think if I put "Man, I love this show" in quotes?
Sure.
Search for "Man, I love this show"
by Man, I love this show. Yep.
That's it?
It's the heart with the exclamation. Oh, 22 episodes.
Yeah.
Did they say Burning Chaps?
Hosted by Miles, Bryce, and Mike.
Yeah, Mike. I knew it started with the B.
MILT show. Hashtag MILT show. It's the only netcast dedicated to talking about our favorite TV shows.
They say TV shows.
5 ratings. Intelligent and funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Very intelligent and funny.
Yeah. Currently at a 4.6 out of 5 on Apple Podcast. That's the big one, you know. Apple. If you can make it on Apple Podcast, that's how you make it.
Yeah, but why leave? Why cease production?
Well, how old is Miles' daughter? So I was just doing the math. June 7th, almost to the day, 6 years ago, was the last time they were on.
Yeah, she's about 6.
Is that it?
Yeah, it's her fault.
So
I'm going to turn the question back on you, Miles. When are you going to start broadcasting again? When are you going to address season 4 and season 5 of Arrested Development? Your audience is waiting. And by the way, I think I have asked this question of Miles before. Okay. I have.
So this is like a deep...
So he's turning it back on me, and I'm turning it back on him.
So
checkmate.
Good job, Deb. You really nailed that. So yeah, this is some sort of deep psychological crises he's going through where he wants to be able to answer this question for himself, but he can't. So he needs somebody to...
Answer it for
him.
Okay, can we do that?
Yeah, go ahead and give him a date.
I had thrown down the gauntlet. Now it was time to wrap up our investigation. Time to tie up the loose ends and close our drama with an award-winning film score, as some would say. We wanted to know why Miles had called us. What was the reason for calling us instead of Dave, Graham, the brothers, and his own co-stars? We knew the only way to get true answers was to call Miles directly, and we knew the best way to do that was from an anonymous phone number on a Saturday afternoon. He would never see it coming.
Okay, so, all right, so I'm going to try to call Miles.
Are you calling it right now?
Yes, I am. I'm going to.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, hold on.
I'm kind of scared.
I'm going to punch it in. All right. Okay, now put it on speaker.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, phone caller. Nice to hear from you. I'm sorry, I couldn't take your phone call just this minute, but you're on my list. You're on my list to get back to you because you matter. You're important. But so am I. That's why I couldn't take it. I was busy with other things. So, but to me, I rank higher than you. It doesn't matter. Anyway, leave your name. I'll see your number. Actually, I'll maybe see your name too, but leave it just in case I don't know who you are, and leave your short message, and I will get back to you as soon as I want to. Thank you for calling. Thank you so much. Talk to you later. Goodbye.
Okay. I hung up. I hung up on his voicemail.
We should have known he wouldn't answer our call. Phone pleasantries fall second to dad duties any day, especially when there's an unknown number with an unknown caller on the other end. Maybe he wouldn't want to talk even if he knew it was us calling. Maybe even he doesn't know the answers to our burning questions. So what now?
I mean, so we've done the research and we tried reaching out, but I mean, nothing, so
we've done all that we can do.
I guess now we just see if we can get Miles from Sioux Falls on the show.